Well, it was bound to happen. In this episode, Griselda dies. And as tribute, kind of, I will pull a Talking Dead and give her a very lazy memorial instead of the beautiful ones that they do in Talking Dead. Na, 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 na. Oh, Griselda. Mama say, Mama sa, Mama kusa. Farewell, Mama Salazar. So right away we start off this episode pretty interestingly as we meet Strand, the salesman. Very interesting character, I have to say, and I have really high hopes that he's going to survive in the end of this, because I get the feeling that he's going to become, if his character works, I feel like he's going to become a main character in the upcoming season of Fear the Walking Dead. So, you know, keep an eye on him. He might be interesting, especially with his plan with Nick. So then, what happens is, he meets Nick, and, you know, he saves him from being taken away from the soldiers to what I'm guessing is the quote-unquote killing room, where they pretty much bring the people who are like, oh, he's feeling sick, let's make sure he feels better, we'll take care of him. But in reality, taking care of him means, like, you know, killing them, putting them down. So I'm interested to see what Strand has in store for Nick, and if he's going to be a more positive character or not. He seems like, obviously, one of those salesman type characters, so obviously he's going to be a little sleazy, but maybe it's good, maybe it's bad, we'll see. So later on, we see in the episode that Ophelia is really upset because she wants to figure out what her mother is, and Nick and all the others who were taken away. So she's freaking out. So the soldier that she's hooking up with tells her to calm down, and he offers her to take her home. Little does he know, that's probably not the best idea. We then see Madison, you know, really sad and upset of the fact that Nick is gone, and that the fact that Liza seems to have betrayed them. And she's not the only one, as we see that Chris is freaking out about it too, being very disrespectful towards her and towards Travis. Travis tries to calm them down. They have a nice little moment, but right after that, they kind of mess it up after he mentions the fact that he has to apologize to Madison. He says, oh, good luck with your family, Dad, and that's a little harsh. For me, that part was a little iffy, just due to the fact that it's like, I understand being a child of a divorced parents myself. I do understand that it's kind of like a little hard to get past, but to be honest, it is a little immature in this kind of world that they're living in, where you would expect this isn't something that would be very important, but because it is a family-focused show, not family-based, because, you know, most kids can't really watch this, but because this show focuses a lot on the family aspect, I guess this is one way they want to focus on it. So we cut back to the hospital area where Liza is, and we see that she's working on a bunch of patients, and very interestingly enough, she's learning a lot really quick. She already helps them at one point to kind of bring down one patient who is said to have bite marks. So from what it looks like, they're cutting off parts of the bodies that are bitten or scratched, which is, you know, very, very fast. One thing I really enjoy about this show is that they seem to learn a lot faster than the characters on the main Walking Dead show, where it's like it took them a couple of seasons to realize that people who die come back, like not just from bites or scratches, but just literally come back when they die. In this season, I mean, it's already episode 5 and they're already learning about it. If I remember correctly, it was like near the end of season 2 when Walking Dead, Rick and the others learned that, so that's very interesting. So we cut back and we see that Madison walks in on Ophelia and Daniel, pretty much torturing the soldier that brought Ophelia home. Now, Ophelia doesn't realize what her dad's actually trying to do. She just thinks he's trying to get answers and then let him go, when in reality what Daniel plans on doing because of his past is pretty much torture the soldier until he gets the answers. And even after that, we see some pretty gruesome parts and we learn a bit more about Daniel's backstory. I feel like each episode we learn a bit more about Daniel and his crazy past story with the wars that he's been in and such harshness. So that part's very interesting. I feel like he's going to be a more dangerous character later on, whether it's good or bad. I don't really see him as a governor type of character, but I do see him as a character to be reckoned with. So we cut with Travis, who goes off with the army guys to go meet with the people in charge in order to get Nick and Griselda and Liza back. And on the way they stop by and they try to get him to shoot this one walker that they come across on, and we kind of get a feel that Travis is not very comfortable with guns, and we saw that in multiple other episodes of Fear the Walking Dead, where he just doesn't really seem comfortable with this. Because of this, I get a weird feeling that he has a past with this. I feel either that, or like I feel like he's either traumatized or he's just really uncomfortable with guns. Like he's just high up in that thought. At some point by the end of the season, I really do feel like something's gonna push him into using a gun, but we'll have to wait. So back in the community, we see that Alicia tries talking with Chris, and they actually have a kind of a nice bonding moment. I feel she decides to cut him some slack and take him to go have some fun at this abandoned house where a bunch of rich people are. So they break a bunch of stuff, have a bit of fun, and I honestly enjoyed it. It was very interesting. And then we cut back to the hospital where Strand explains to Nick that, you know, he has a plan to get out of the hospital, that he has a key and he needs him because of his heroin addiction. Apparently he's the perfect guy to help him escape. So since next week is the last episode, I guess we're going to find out what's going on with that. So in the very last part of the episode, we see that Liza, she sees Griselda, and Griselda has an amazing speech. Beautiful. I really enjoyed it. Being a Spanish speaker, I understood everything she said, even without the subtitles. But, you know, it was very powerful, her speech about seeing the face of a devil. Not sure if that was to Liza or to walkers, but it was very powerful. And then later on, after torturing, we find out that Daniel learns that the army plans on leaving the next day around 9 o'clock and ditching everyone and then killing everyone in the hospital. So they have to find out a way to get out. In the end, Daniel comes across the arena where the soldier said that he locked up over 2,000 walkers. So I'm interested to see what happens by the end of that. So in the end, like, I feel like this episode was kind of like a slower one. All the other ones feel like they were more fast-paced and stuff, but it doesn't mean that it wasn't a bad episode. I actually found it very interesting, most of the parts where we see that the sergeant guy, he's inside this place where the soldiers go to help some of the fellow soldiers, and then he doesn't come out. So I'm guessing he might have died, but it wasn't exactly implied. It just says that he was trapped. So what I'm guessing is either he died just like that, or he might come back later to be a bigger threat, because I do see him possibly being a villain character. Another thing that I have to quote is mainly the fact that I'm very interested to see how Daniel is going to react when he finds out that Liza killed, well, not killed, but she put the bullet in Griselda's head after Griselda died. So most likely Daniel's going to think that she had something to do with it, especially after they all saw that Liza left with the government in the last episode. It looks like he's going to open the doors to that arena filled with walkers, whether it's for some kind of distraction for the armies to pay attention to, or if he's just getting it to attack them or something. I'm not really sure. But I do find it interesting how it seems like it's foreshadowing a lot already, especially with Daniel's character. I feel like he might be the more ruthless in the bunch. I'm not saying he's bad, but I do believe that he might be someone we might want to look out for, especially since the next episode is the last one for the season. Real quick, next episode is the last of the season. And then this week after that is going to be episode 1 of The Walking Dead. So what I plan to do for that is most likely do reviews for some of the other seasons of Walking Dead, and then try my best to do a weekly review for the 6th season of Walking Dead. It might seem unfair, like I might change my mind. Maybe I'll stick with the per season, or I'll stick with it episodic for season 6. I don't know. Comment down below and tell me what you guys think you might want me to do. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking right now. Also, real quick thing about last week. Last week I mentioned this idea that I had that PewDiePie might be in Fear the Walking Dead. Now the reason I thought of this was mainly because if you guys watch these videos, you'll notice that PewDiePie is in LA coincidentally the same time that Fear the Walking Dead is showing right now. So it could be just some crazy coincidence, and it might just be a bunch of fans wanting PewDiePie to be in Fear the Walking Dead. I don't know, maybe. Especially there was that hint where we see PewDiePie has blood on his shoe in some of his vlogs. So that is something to pay attention to, maybe. Now, me, I just know a bit about PewDiePie. I'll be honest. I'm like I just started watching some of his videos. So he's a cool guy, very funny. But yeah, I do want to make sure that you guys understand that it's like I'm not saying he's definitely gonna be in it. All I'm saying is that it would be interesting because the rumors seem legit. Everyone thinks that he's gonna be in Walking Dead or Fear the Walking Dead. I personally believe that he might appear in season 2 of Fear the Walking Dead, maybe, just because we're already in the last few episodes of the season, so I really doubt he's going to appear in the last episode. So what I believe is what they're doing is shooting for season 2, and maybe PewDiePie is going to be like a special guest star or something, kind of like how Tyrell James Williams, the guy from Everybody Hates Chris, was in the main Walking Dead show. Maybe they wanted to get another icon, so they brought PewDiePie in. I mean, it would make sense being the LA area, and he is a very well-known star. So that's what I believe. But again, comment down below what you guys think, and we'll see if we're right or not. So in the end, that was my review. Very good episode. Nice character development for some people, and I do feel like we learned a lot about Daniel. I can't wait to see what happens next week. Next week is the last episode, one more time, so it should be very interesting, especially with that arena filled with walkers. I do feel like now we're going to see where all the walkers have been all this time, so it should be very interesting. Up here, most likely I'll put an annotation or something to check out last week's video for Fear the Walking Dead. Over 800 views. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. I really hope you guys enjoy it. I love the fact that you guys are watching it. Try to see if you can watch some of my other videos too. I just finished an Arrow review, so that should be tomorrow. I scheduled it, that's why. But yeah, it should be showing tomorrow. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you guys later. See ya!